Is it working? Is it recording?
Oh, it's recording.
Which way on the mic is it this?
The button.
The emblem?
The emblem.
All right.
The emblem.
Emblem? I send them
To
the
the
kingdom.
To the win.
Welcome
to
the Flycast. Here on episode
12. Episode 12.
Yeah, I knew that. I was gonna say the 12.
We're gonna say 12. This. Remember how we told you we were gonna do setups?
No, they don't remember.
They don't remember that.
Yeah.
This is not the setup. Is what I was trying to say. This is not the setup that we were going for. Now I feel like I have to talk to the camera because it's more natural than swinging towards you and bumping knees with you.
And I'm bumping the wall every time I turn. Like the camera can't even see. If I just look out my right eye, I can't see the camera.
Well, yeah. So things, for some reason I came back and the podcast room was completely different. There's now a Gears room. And so I don't know what we're going to do about the Optic podcast, which we are recording tomorrow, or I'm recording tomorrow.
Who's on it?
Hex, Mike, and Bose, I think.
So I'm not on it.
No.
Okay.
So it's going to be bad. We're not on
it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So they're going to verbal.
Yeah. Actually, the last one that we were like kind of worried about, because Hex was the first one without Hex. It was myself, you, and Snakebite. It did really well.
Yeah, no. But
we knew that
was us.
We knew that was going to happen.
If you leave an optic podcast up, I don't know. They're good. But our fans are weird. All right? You guys are weird. Like,
Wait, are you saying Optic fans or the Flycast fans?
Maybe it's the Flycast fans. Whoever, okay. like our last, me, you, Snakebite. Yeah. Like, it's pretty much the Flycast and then Snakebite.
Yeah.
But even though Hex wasn't on it, they still, like, supported it. And then I just know, maybe not, but I feel like they're just going to talk shit about Hex, Mike, and Bose being on the podcast. They're going to be like, where's MaNiaC? Maybe I'm just like...
They'll definitely say, where's Big T?
Well, that's
they'll probably say, where's Big T on this video?
A video they know no one else will be in. They'll still ask, where's Big T?
Where's Big T? Did you see how many people said where's Big T on that last video? Because we talked about that.
I was playing Fortnite and someone in where was it? I don't know. Someone in my stream just said like something about Big T. I'm just like, oh no! Someone said MaNiaC's. I think I was talking about like uploading a Fortnite video from like my rebroadcast or something. Right. They were like, MaNiaC's the next Big T, and I was like, don't you ever say that. Dude, never disrespect the god like that. Never
disrespect
the GOAT.
You were getting mad.
Yeah, I was pissed. He even compared me to him.
That's funny. But yeah, people after that, people were kind of like, because we uploaded the Flycast, and we've uploaded like 3-4 weeks straight. We're kind of banging these shits out,
dude. Is it?
Yeah,
is this 3 or 4?
I think it's 4. I think this is 4 weeks straight. Killing the game.
Time flies, man.
And so we did those, and then we did the podcast with Bose and Hex, and then we did the podcast with Snakebite. And all of these, like I've started looking at the comments on all the Flycasts and all of the podcasts, and people are saying that MaNiaC is a natural podcaster.
I've heard. Yeah. I didn't know
when
that.
I see it, I'm like, finally, I was the person sitting through. I mean, obviously, you kind of went through it, I guess, but everybody was talking shit about you, and I'm just sitting there trying to back you up, and I'm going through all this.
I went through it. poor you.
Yeah, it's like nobody thinks about me, what I had to go through.
Poor you. You had to try to help me out, back me up. Yeah. Poor guy.
Everybody was saying, MaNiac's only in Optic because Hitch wants him to be. Because Hitch will put him on Vision, so he talks about the CS team. Stuff like that. But I'm like, nah, you guys don't get it. You guys don't get it.
Well,
and then now,
those people.
And then now, everybody's gassing you up about your content and your podcast abilities. And I'm sitting over here like, what am I chopped liver? I'm on these Flycasts too, you know?
Yeah.
I'm on these Optic podcasts.
Yeah, I I get it, but I don't get it. Like
I'm here.
I'm when it's happening now, like the people are on my side right now.
People are loving
but
it.
I'm not gonna get used to it.
Yeah.
Put it that way.
The first time you got used to it turned out pretty bad.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I guess I can forgive them.
Yeah.
For that.
I feel like everybody gets used to it.
Because I disappointed myself.
I'm waiting for that's what I'm saying about Roger. Like, it happens to everybody. First, like, I guess the only person it never happened to was probably like Nade. Actually, no, what the hell? What am I talking about? People roasted Nade about his his COD gameplay ability like every day. But like, people roast Scump for playing other games and not caring, and his relationship. People roast Bose and Mike now. And I think you were the only one people hadn't roasted yet until it got to that point.
Since the move, really?
Yeah, since the 60-50 move. Because I went through a solid 6 months. I could do no wrong. Yeah. I was uploading every day. I was doing vlogs. Vision was still new. It was fresh in people's minds. Smooth comp was going well.
I wonder what these critics are doing.
True.
Like, all of a sudden, everything is... What's MaNiaC doing? What's Flame doing? What's Hitch doing? What are you doing? Like,
yeah.
Why? I don't know anyone successful that is worried about what someone else is doing.
Damn. Quoted. Twitter bio. Podcasted. Somebody make a graphic. Nick's face holding up the trophy for formal and have it say whatever the fuck he just said, because I already forgot.
I mean, it's already like...
It's
already like a known like quote kind of thing. Like,
sure.
Don't
worry about you,
why?
Man.
Yeah,
Do
like,
you.
How? Why? How? It doesn't even register in my brain how you're worried about like someone else.
Yeah. Damn. You're getting
now
heated.
I'm pissed.
Do you worry about what other people are doing if it's motivating you and if it's making you want to be a better version of you?
If it's entertainment, if it's inspiring, motivating, whatever, but
don't worry about it.
If someone's not doing something, it's like, how are you gonna... I don't know. It just doesn't...
Sam and I have this conversation all the time, because I compare... She's trying to grind out her stream, and she's doing really well. As for a Twitch affiliate to have 140 subs, that's super good. And she's grinding it out, and she loves her little, community and fan base. But then she'll see... Her sandwiches. And then she'll see these other streamers that are just taking their tops off and shaking their butts on stream, and they're killing it, thousands of subs. And she's so upset about it, and I just want to tell her, look, I do YouTube videos, I make vlogs, I don't clickbait, and I watch freaking the Jake Paul and the Logan Pauls of the world, literally lie to their viewers. I was looking up Fortnite stuff, and Drifter will literally Photoshop, he made a chest glow purple as if it was royalty, and he with arrows pointing to it, and it said new discovered chests or new spots for chests on Fortnite. And the video was him just finding chests on Fortnite, regular chests. And I'm just and he's literally lying to the viewers. The video had 4 million views, and it wasn't technically clickbait because he was finding chests where they normally weren't,
it's clickbait.
Weren't there. But at the same time, I'm not sitting here and hating on Drifter he's doing his thing. I'm not hating on the Paul brothers, except for obvious occasions.
I mean, you have to realize, even if you hated on Drifter for making that video, that does absolutely nothing for you.
Nothing.
It doesn't. Drifter can be like, damn, Hitch is hating on me. I'm not going to make another video ever again. Exactly. Guess what? Hitch's life is still the same. It doesn't matter if because of your of your hate on Drifter, he could quit, but still your life is the exact same. Yeah. So it does nothing for you.
It doesn't change your life. It doesn't alter your life. You just see somebody doing what you do a different way, and it happened to be more successful, but it's not the way that you want to do it, and it could be easier. I can make videos with, breaking into the shower while Sam's taking a shower and get a clip, and then cover up her private parts and have arrows pointing to her. Guess what I did to my girlfriend in all caps. And
I'll do that when I get a girlfriend.
That'll probably get 150 to 2,000 views, but I'm not going to do that because I don't want to do that because that's not the type of fan base that I want. And that's what I keep saying to her is like, do you want the fan base where you stand up and you shake your butt on stream, or do you want people to like you as a person and your gameplay?
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it has like its pros and cons. It's really easy, but I used to do that all the time. I used to, like, back in the day, I would make all these like competitive COD videos because that's where I came from or whatever, working for UMG, and I would watch KEEMSTAR make these like obviously the same shit he's doing now, and I would just I couldn't stand it. I would like freak out and hate on it. And then the first time I ever hung out with Hex and Nadeshot was when I first got picked up for Optic Intel. They were like I was hanging out with them in person, and KEEMSTAR walked by, and Hex and Nade were both like, the king of YouTube, and they were like dapping him up and stuff. And it was the first time I'd ever met him, and I was sitting over there like, man, I used to hate this guy. But if two people that inspired me to get to where I am now are like dapping him up, then obviously they kind of have some respect for his grind.
Well, they would never do that now.
What do you mean?
Call KEEMSTAR the king of YouTube?
Oh, I wouldn't call him the king of YouTube. Yeah. But at the time, he had gotten his channel shut down 4 different times and gotten 1 million subscribers within like 4 weeks, every single time. So that's why they were saying that. But they would still, I mean, Hex still, I don't know about respects, but he still shows appreciation of KEEMSTAR.
Yeah. I don't know what the word would be. I don't think it'd be not necessarily respect, but like maybe like KEEMSTAR, maybe it is respect.
I feel like it's a different version of respect. I'm sure there's a word for what we're looking for in other languages.
But like his channel is original. Like he's been doing it forever. Like he kind of started, I don't know my like YouTube history and shit, but I assume he kind of like started the whole like news kind of like drama.
The YouTube news.
YouTube news. Like he started it.
It was like he's definitely like the
do you
the TMZ, King. Yeah. Because there's like the TMZ of YouTube, which is like KEEMSTAR, and then there's like probably the regular news of YouTube, which is like probably the Philip DeFranco show. So it's like, I don't know, he's kind of, if he didn't do it, somebody else would.
Yeah. One thing I like about Keem is I wouldn't know this side of him unless he did it, which is sometimes he'll make like Twitter videos like genuine, like shitting on just shitty people, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like he'll express how he feels emotionally, like publicly.
Yeah. He kind of there are times where
he's not afraid to like give his personal opinion. Like he's not just like a news guy baiting everyone. Like he'll like actually give his take on it.
Yeah. And there are times where he will say something that I'm like, damn, I wish I could say that. You know, like I'm in an organization where you there's a limit. Yeah. But he's sponsored by G Fuel, who doesn't give a fuck what you say. Yeah. And he's KEEMSTAR, so he has his own brand where he does whatever the hell he wants to do. Yeah. So I mean, more props to him. I mean, even like now it's at a point where that's KEEMSTAR. Like that, you don't mess with him. You don't even want to mess with him. When other people go at him, I'm just like, you're so dumb. Why would you do that? Even when he was coming at us, like the Optic House, I was still just like, I'm not mad at him.
Yeah. It was even when that situation happened, we know like the behind the scenes kind of like of how. Like we knew, I don't know how much I want to talk about.
Yeah, without getting into it. Yeah. I didn't think you were gonna.
But like KEEMSTAR, we spoke to him before anything went public, and like it was like
there's still a mutual thing.
There was like a respect. Yeah, there was a respect there.
Him and Hex have had histories of just figuring stuff out, and so he had the. Obviously, everybody saw the video. He said he had talked to Hex, and Hex had a statement, and that's it.
I mean, what I liked about it was like he had the respect and like dignity to like actually like reach out and like try to find out the truth and like the story But like regardless, at the end of the day, he has to do what his fucking channel is, and that's drama alert.
Yeah, I guess that's the thing. That's the scary thing with how many people can become popular now. Like celebrities used to just be whoever was on TV, but now we have celebrities that can just be anybody on Twitter, anybody on, like YouTube or even like Reddit. Like anybody on the internet can become somewhat popular, even to the point of internet celebrities, like in the matter of years. So we have people that can literally abuse their fan base to where, innocent until proven guilty is just all the way, it's out the window.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you think about all the stuff that, I don't even know anything about it, but all the stuff that Banks got into with like that, that club or whatever, and he just like basically sicked all of his viewers and all of his fan base on that club, and then the club came back, and it's like scary. Like as much as I like Banks, I haven't seen him in forever, but when we did used to hang out at events, I liked him a lot, but it's terrifying. Now you have Rice Gum making videos about like dissing certain people, and who knows the real story behind like half of those situations. It's crazy, man. Yeah. It's wild.
Yeah, that shit's corny to me. All that stuff's
all of that,
corny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really like that, and it sounds like I'm like hating. Like if I was in their position and I heard me being like that's corny, yeah. I would be like what, shut the fuck up. Yeah, like I'm a hater or something. But I don't know. That's just
you can't really hate. You can't hate on other, or I don't know. I feel like you can't call us haters whenever we're talking about someone more successful than us, because we give so much props to other people that are more successful than us. Yeah. Like the way you and I talk about like Justine or Nate Shot, or like anybody else that's like that high up and they're making that quality of videos and doing that in their lives, like I can't hate on that. I would never even begin to hate on that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I guess that's it. Some people just aren't going to like certain stuff. And it's not like I sit there and like fucking use my energy to hate on it. It's just, I don't know. If it comes up in conversation, it's I can tell you, I don't know, it's not my thing. I don't really watch their stuff. I don't keep up with the YouTube drama or the diss tracks. I'm just not into it.
Could you imagine if we got in? We would.
Yeah, it'd be bad.
Like somebody's dying on the track.
Yeah.
Like think about all the views and all the shit that like Rice Gum said, what did he say? I'm verified because of all of these checks that I blew. That's the one time out of all the 9 songs I've heard from him that he ever had anything that was like some sort of a scheme or wordplay.
Yeah.
So shout out to Jay.
Lyrically.
If you wrote that, Jay, props to you, man.
I don't know who Jay is, but
the diss rapper.
Oh, okay. Lyrically, I don't think any YouTuber could beat us. But
any YouTuber, I don't know about. Yeah, maybe any.
Name any YouTuber that like you think could. I don't think any YouTuber could.
Maybe not. Maybe honestly, Zia says some stuff sometimes. Bilu has that like funny flow, but Zia says some stuff sometimes.
They're probably the only people I've heard like. I'm talking like known YouTubers. Yeah. Like the only people that have any kind of like skill. Yeah. Like they freestyle and it's like. It's like they have you can like you feel it.
Yeah.
But like anyone else, it's like even when it's written and they're in a studio and have countless times to record it, it's still they're like off beat. They're like not in pocket, and it's just like you can tell it's not what they do. But since they're famous on YouTube, they can
do it.
I mean, at the end of the day, you can do whatever you want regardless, whether you're a famous YouTuber or not. But I'm just saying.
Where do you think music is going, man? Because now music just seems like that thing to do whenever you're famous and you don't know what else to do. Like if you look at Rice Gum, you look at the Paul brothers, you look at the Cash Me Outside girl, Bad Baby is her name now.
Well, I mean, everyone just likes music. Yeah. Everyone.
So it's like
music is universal. Like,
so now I feel like music is getting to a point where it's like you have all these people making music or writing the music, doing the music, and they just need a platform to put it on. And so you just grab a famous person and you just give them that.
Yeah.
Because that's the easiest way to get popular.
I don't know.
That's crazy, man.
What music is. I don't even. Is it music?
I
like
don't
no
think,
one.
I
think it's not even music. It's like entertainment.
Yeah. True.
No one rides around listening.
Don't say no one, because I guarantee you there are kids. There are no one above the age of 18, maybe.
Yeah, but I get the entertainment aspect of it.
Yeah, so do I.
But no one rides around at nighttime and is like bumping Rice Gum diss tracks. Like, no offense to Rice Gum.
There's this one,
but I'm just, or like Catch Me Outside Girl or fucking Logan Paul and Jake Paul.
Don't
it's
say
like
anything
no
about
one.
Bad Baby. She has a song called Hi Bitch. That shit bangs.
Really?
Bangs.
But is it the beat or is it
It's
her?
the beat. It's not her.
I feel like you can make almost like anyone sound good.
White Ribs,
if you were good enough.
White Horse. That's all I know.
I don't know if I've really like.
Hi, bitch.
I've definitely heard it, but I don't know it like that.
Yeah.
But I'm just, music is like what you're listening to when you're just laying in bed.
Yeah.
And like the lights are off.
Yeah.
Or when you're driving at nighttime. When you're like, listening to music.
What do you predict? Where do you think music's going? Because there's this Skrillex song where he, at the very beginning, he like samples this really old interview, and at the very beginning, it's just like a bass line, and Skrillex like I don't know, does some sort of music, and then it's the interview over top, and he said, I predict, or I can envision is what he says. I can envision that, music is going to get to a point where there's a lot of machines and a lot of electronics, and it's not done anymore with physical things. It's done a lot more with electronics. And he plays the whole thing, and then he drops obviously he's Skrillex. Yeah. So like somebody predicted where music was going to go way back then, but where do you think it's headed? I know that's a broad statement because there's so much within music, but as far as what's popular now, where do you think it's going to head?
I don't know. It's weird. I was listening to this new Young MA freestyle, and she actually said something about it. She was just like, she just said something like all these corny, weird looking rappers. Like she just said something about that. And it is like everyone that is like going out of their way to like be different.
Yeah.
It's like being different's not even like being different anymore.
Yeah, it's not.
Like being different. Yeah. Being different is like not being different.
Exactly. Like who was the last rapper that came out that was normal or fit the rapper persona? Like the regular, like I'm talking about like Kendrick or J. Cole. Like just like the last lyrical rapper that came out and he just was a rapper. He didn't have a purse on. He wasn't wearing grills. He was, or like crazy shit. Like I'm talking about like the 6ix9ine guy now. Like, yeah. Like, and I listen to all their music. I'm not going to act like I'm not being a hypocrite right now, but when was the last time that somebody came out and was just like, these are my bars. This is what I do.
Well, I don't know. It's like, you can't really put a wall around rap and be like, this is what rap is.
Yeah.
Because if you're rhyming words, it doesn't matter what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, there's an interview with...
You can be pink hair with rainbow grills.
That's true. There's an interview with Joey, I think it's Joey Badass, and somebody asked him, like, expecting him to just shit on mumble rappers, because people do that with anybody who's like a lyrical rapper. And for the most part, all the lyrical rappers, with the exception of a few, say the same thing. They're just like, I don't know why you guys try to put us in the same comparison. Like, I'm not going to sit here and hate on what Future does, or the movement that Future started. Yeah. I'm not going to hate on that because it's the same shit that I listen. Like I listen to that. I go to the club and I listen to that. I dance to it. I bump it. But I'm also not going to compare that to what I do. Yeah. So why are you comparing it to what I do? And Joey Badass said, what we need to do is we need to sit down. There needs to be a board of directors for rap, and we need to establish different segments of rap. Because he said they did it with rock and roll. There was rock and roll, there was classic rock, there was punk rock, there was screamo, there was hardcore.
Yeah, right.
And nobody's done that with rap yet. And that's why everybody's...
Mumble rap is a new one.
Yeah, now people are saying mumble rap, but then you have mumble rap and lyrical rap, and that's it. You don't have like you could even like put Yellow Wolf into southern rap, and I mean you have different segments and stuff, but I don't know. As far as I mean it's kind of like getting out of that now of like comparing the two, mumble rap and lyrical rap, because nobody really does it anymore. But at the same time, like it would make it easier for like, you know, the BET awards or like the freshman ciphers and stuff to like be able to separate them, because now it's just kind of becoming like a joke.
Yeah,
like the freshman ciphers, like there's not. It's all
people like don't even try.
Yeah,
to rap.
Ever since the Lil Uzi year, they just don't try anymore.
Yeah,
and it's like I think there were a few. I think
and
like
then they
two,
try to have like real rappers with like the fun rappers,
which you can't do.
Yeah,
like they had
like the real rappers like get offended.
Yeah, but then because then the fun rappers or the mumble rappers are just kind of there, just like rhyming through their stuff.
I'm a bitch. Yeah.
I don't know. I can't hate on either one of them because I listen to everything.
Yeah,
but
me either. Like if I go to a club, I don't want to walk in and hear like Nas. Or,
yeah, right.
Like, you know, fucking Tech Nine.
Like
I want to hear Lil Uzi. I want to hear Catch Me Outside.
Hi, bitch.
Like it's just different. It really does need new genres.
Needs guidelines, so that at these BET awards they can have mumble rapper of the year or call it whatever you want to. New age rapper.
If you just what is rap anymore?
Yeah,
like if you rhyme,
is Post Malone
I would say
rap?
if you rhyme words, you're a rapper. But people in rock and every other, like everyone rhymes words that makes music. So like, what makes you a rapper?
Is it? I mean, is Post Malone a rapper?
Is he?
It's like because he could be he's
like an artist.
Post Malone could be rap. He could be R&B. He could be southern.
But there's also now it's like people like Drake don't want to be considered
a rap. Yeah,
I wouldn't say he doesn't want to be considered, but he's like he doesn't. Like you wouldn't really call him a rapper. You would call him an artist.
Yeah,
like some like the top tier people. Yeah. Well, even like Post Malone, it's like I would consider him like an artist,
so too. And I think
more than a rapper.
And some people are gonna get I hope nobody gets offended. I don't know if you're in shot anymore, by the way. I don't know what people are gonna think about this next statement, but there's a part of me, and I love rap. It's my favorite type of music. It's my favorite genre. And everybody knows that. But I don't view it as music. I don't know if that's bad to say. I view rap as like a different way of listening to rap battles. Because when I listen to rap battles, it's like, listen. Just stay on track with me.
I'm listening.
All right. So the thing I love the most about rap is like actual rap is like lyrical rap. Is the words and the lyrics and the way they can multi-syllable and put it all together. So that's why I watched battle rap for so many years over even listening to rap. And now when I listen to rap, that's what I listen for. So I don't really view that as music. I view it as more of like poetry or wordplay or however you want to say that, like putting the words together and how well you can do it. And then I listen to mumble rap and I'm just like, that's not music to me either, because that's just like, it's just kind of like a different way of just listening to a beat and getting hype with it. It's like kind of like listening to electronic music. You just have somebody rapping over top of it.
I mean, that's music.
Yeah, it is music. But when I think of music, I think of guitars and I think of drums.
Queen.
Yeah, I think of Queen and I think of Boston. I think of John Mayer. I think of Jimi Hendrix. Like I think of
Lady Gaga.
Even Lady Gaga, even Coldplay, like even people
Nickelback,
even Nickelback. Like, so now music, what is popular right now, I wouldn't even call it music. I would call it like, I don't know. This has like been on my mind for a while, but I don't know how else to like say it besides saying that I feel like it's just like very electronic based and very what's catchy and what's bumpy. And
well, the thing is, it's like, does music make the culture, or does culture make the music? If you get what I'm saying.
Maybe you are the GOAT podcaster. Maybe
Why?
you fucking are. Maybe they get it. The YouTube comments get it. Keep going with your fucking point, man.
I don't know what my point was.
Now
Well, it wasn't a point. It was.
You make
It
me
wasn't
feel
a
dumb
point. It was
sometimes.
just like, is it these like mumble rappers aren't just like mumble rapping and changing us. It's like the environment made them mumble rappers. So it's like, it's just where music is, I guess. Like, something in our world led music to be at like a mumble rap stage. What is it about our world? Like, Donald Trump is president. Donald Trump is president. Mumble rap is at an all-time high.
And
what?
Call of Duty is being played on TVs nationwide.
Yeah.
And TV is going out of business and internet is ruling the world. Like, everything's changing.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
I think maybe it's because, back in the day, there was no, like, you couldn't just, it cost a lot. It was a lot of time, and it was impossible almost to teach yourself to play guitar or to play piano. So whenever you saw somebody that was killing it at guitar and piano, it was insane to see that. But now you can YouTube search,
everything.
You can YouTube search Eruption solo, and you can hear 500 different people from anywhere from 70-year-old men to 12-year-olds in their garage playing one of the best solos of all time on the guitar. And that's because it kind of takes away how hard it is to do that and how talented it is. And now you just, instead of searching for something that's talent based, you're searching for something that has never been done before, and that is unique, and that's something that you have never seen before. And so that's why we're coming out with the most insane types of music and the most insane looking people, because the talent is not appreciated as much anymore.
What will music be like in 100 years?
That was where I was trying to go with this.
Really?
Because
that's going to be weird.
Obviously not in 100 years, but I have a hypothesis of where it's going to get in our lifetime.
What's that?
I think it's going to, the same thing that happens with clothes, the same thing that happens with pretty much any trend, it's going to come back around, because it hasn't come back around yet.
People start rocking the fucking 70s type clothes and like,
yeah,
I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like, you know how like in the 2000s we were all sagging our pants.
Yeah.
And now we're,
now it's like
skinny jeans are the thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it all comes back.
Like, people are wearing like old clothes.
Yeah. The snapbacks came back. My mom was like, why is everybody wearing snapbacks now? It's because that's what people used to wear way back in the day. And then it was dad hats. And then snapbacks kind of went away and dad hats came back. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, sorry.
Damn. Imagine in 40 years, 50 years, just like classic rock comes back.
That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen. I'm thinking,
that's interesting.
By the time we're like 40 and 50, I think we're going to have gone through all of this craziness, all of this. Like, where else can you go from here as far as music? Like, I know they were probably saying that back in the day, but as far as,
I mean, yeah, in the 50s, they were probably like,
how do you get
say
better
in the
than
60s?
this?
When were the Beatles? Like 60s?
Yeah,
70s,
probably early 70s, late 60s, I think.
But like, I'm sure then they were just like,
yeah, where does it go?
Like, they saw that and were just like, okay, this is music.
Yeah.
But like, never in their right mind would they expect to hear Lil Uzi.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
Like,
they would faint.
So I wonder in 50 years what I'm going to hear and be like, what is that?
And people,
I've never heard that.
People continue to say that, and I understand because that's how it's been forever. But as far as anything technical and electronic based, I don't think anything's going to surprise me anymore. You know what I mean? And that is the surprising part. We go from an acoustic guitar. Now there's something called an electric guitar. What the hell is an electric guitar?
Wait, you don't think anything's going to surprise you?
Well, I think some things will, but I don't think it's going to be like, wow, I didn't see that coming. Because then we go from an electric guitar to now people are DJing. Then we go from DJing to, over time, Skrillex and this like trap style music where it's all done on the internet or it's
fake
all done
DJing.
on computers. Yeah, fake DJing. So from there, anything that's done electronically, it's not really going to surprise me anymore because I don't even know where else we could go. That's why I think it's going to tumble back around to where people are going to go on stage. They're going to be playing a guitar live and people are going to be going crazy. And I think that's where it's going to eventually get. And I could be completely wrong.
Yes, you could.
But I also don't know where else we can go. How does it get crazier than the rapper 69?
You don't know until it happens.
I understand that. But I think, and there's definitely going to be crazier things that happen. But when we get there, I'm not going to be like, wow. I guess I will say I didn't see that coming, but I'm not going to be like, how is this happening? It's like, this was bound to happen. Something's crazier. Yeah. Something's going to entertain us more. It's going to catch our eye. But eventually, the top 40, I think, is going to be, there's going to be trickles of real music scattered within there, like rock music and acoustic music and Jack Johnson-y type stuff, stuff like that.
I wonder if people like Frank Sinatra would hear some of Drake's like good like musical songs and be like, that's good. Like that's good, or like anyone from like this generation. If like fucking who did Kanye?
Dude, I was just about to talk about this.
The Kanye Rihanna?
Yeah, Kanye Rihanna and
who the fuck was it?
The Beatle.
Yeah, which fucking
Paul McCartney.
Yeah. Yeah, like he's we need him as our first guest. If anyone watching knows Paul McCartney, we need him for the next Flycast. He will be our first guest.
Yeah, and until we get Paul McCartney, we will have 0 guests.
That Paul McCartney is the perfect example of like a musical person just traveling through like generation to generation to generation, but like still accepts and respects like musical talent.
Yeah. And how could you not when you created a wave of music? And he's creating a wave of music while millions of girls are screaming at him and their parents are like this in the back. Like, what the hell is this? So now he hears other people's music and he's like, I can't hate on that because that would be hypocritical for what I went through.
Well, you would just know it's good music. Like even I feel like I have a sense of what good music is, even if I don't like I'll hear good music, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna listen to it again.
True.
Like some stuff just like relates with you or it doesn't.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't know what who's that one not what's his name? I'm just trying to think of like some mumble rapper. I'm thinking like Slumdog, something the Slump God or Ski Mask
Dog,
God Dog,
something like that.
Or
Slump God,
Ski Mask the Slump Dog. We sound so like
Ski Mask. What is it? Ski Mask the Slump God.
Ski Mask the Slump God.
That's his.
Fuck. What was I even saying before that?
I do not know.
Damn it.
If you talk to him, Ski Mask.
What were we saying before? Like
Paul McCartney.
Good real music. Oh, relating.
Yeah.
Like I'll hear music. Some music I just can't relate to.
Yeah.
But like I'll know it's good music. But then there is plenty of people that listen to Ski Mask, the Slump God, and relate to his music.
Yeah.
And they'll listen to shit I like, and they won't relate to it. So it's weird. It's weird how like people, you can't even like necessarily control it.
Not at all.
I don't know what it is.
I think that's why we get roasted so much for liking Drake.
Because
I can understand.
We can't control it, and like they can't control the fact that they don't like it.
Yeah, and I can understand. I accept when people hate on me for disliking Drake because I call him a rapper. I call it hip hop, and I don't know. I'm not a hip hop textbook. I don't know all of Nas's albums. I don't really listen to Tupac and Biggie.
Stillmatic? It was written?
I mean, I have Illmatic. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know all about rap. And so I know old heads would come at me like, Drake is your favorite rapper? Nice, man. Nice. Yeah. You're a typical white guy. And all these like kids on Twitter, like, yeah, Drake. I'm sure Drake is your favorite rapper. You know nothing. But that's why I'm kind of jealous of you, is because you can just be like, the fuck do you mean? I listen to blank. I was a pretty hardcore like 90s. Yeah.
Like, I remember one of my good friends who would listen to, like, all the 90s type shit with me. He started listening to, like, what year was this? Probably, like, 2010, 2011 or something. Like, he started listening to, like, French Montana.
Damn.
And, like, shit like that.
I forgot.
No, it's probably, might have been 2009 or, I don't know. But he started listening to, like, early French Montana and, like, going into the like, pop. Like poppy type mainstream rap, I guess. And I would like joke with him just like about the music he was listening to. But it's like now it's like that's kind of all I'll either listen to Drake's like kind of serious stuff or I'll listen to like the catchy shit.
Yeah, same. That's how I am. There's like not a lot of serious stuff that comes out anymore that like
J. Cole's album, I slept on.
Oh, dude, there's so many albums like that. It's crazy how much music is coming out. Yeah. Like, there's obviously the mumble rap guys release 9 albums a year, but then these other albums,
like all the, like I haven't messed with a album Future made since What a Time to Be Alive.
Yeah, because he releases 12 a year.
Yeah, he just like keeps.
I wonder if you make more money doing that or if you make more money.
I'm sure he makes more money, but it's not like.
Oh, is it good for his?
It's not lasting.
Yeah.
Like when he's 80 years old, he does. I can't speak for him, but if I was 80 years old, I wouldn't want to look back and be like, damn, What a Time to Be Alive was the only like thing that like stuck with for like years. Everything else, it's like you listen to it a few times through and that's about it.
Yeah.
But there's certain I would want to be making stuff that kind of just lasts.
Some sort of like building a legacy.
I say that in my position, not theirs. I'm sure when because when he puts out shit like that, he'll tour his album and make millions.
Yeah.
So that's why he's putting out. At least that's what I think.
I feel like
that's probably why people do put out so much music. It's because after they put it out, they can tour. They can stay relevant. Maybe that's just the way shit is now.
I feel like there's.
But then there's Lil Wayne who hasn't put out an album since 2013, and people are still like, "Where is it?"
Yeah. And I think that's the. I think there's that in. There's that phenomenon happens in every aspect of career, like creative career choices. Like there are grinders, and then there are people who are perfectionists. Like if you look at comedy, I said this in a Vision. I like went super deep in the Vision where people were roasting you about your music, and it sounded kind of corny then, to be honest, because it kind of sounded forced. But there are like the grinders. So in comedy, there's Louis C.K. Louis C.K. is famous for before masturbating in front of people. He was famous for having a different. He would have a different set and different material for like 3 times a year. Like he could have done 9 specials a year because he had so much different material, and he would just stand up there and pump through it. Then you have Bo Burnham, who spends 3 to 4 years perfecting his act, and then he goes on tour. So it's like you kind of have in this aspect. I mean, if we're talking like this, you have the Kendrick Lamars of the world who go out and they put 900% effort into their album, and it takes them 2 years to make it. Or you have, Lil Uzi, who puts out 7. He just grinds. He's always in the studio just pumping out, content, pumping out. So I feel like those, and it happens on YouTube as well. I mean, you have the daily vloggers, and you have the people that just put
Content Cop.
And then you have Content Cop.
Who just,
and whenever a new content comes out, we're sitting
the Drake
there
of
just
fucking,
ready.
Well, at least Drake for us.
What? Oh yeah, the Drake.
Like when he drops something, it's like gotta listen, gotta watch
Content Cop.
Yeah. He's good as fuck. So, I don't really pay attention to him much, but.
So are you a grinder or are you a perfectionist? If we're talking about that,
I don't know. I think I'm finding
a happy medium.
Yeah, a happy medium. I'm working on that.
You're born a perfectionist, which is terrible in the line of work that you're in.
Yeah.
Because people want you to just grind.
Yeah.
People want...
But it's like, it is grinding, but it's just, I don't, like, the perfect example, I guess, is Halo. It's like you grind almost every single day, but I grind every single day for a certain moment. I don't grind just to like put something out. I grind kind of like an album almost. Like right. I would grind every day for an event.
Yeah.
Like certain rappers will grind every single day for
their album.
Just having a super good album.
Yeah.
And then there's other people who would just like, they don't care if the video sucks. They'll put it out. They just want to get a video out.
Yeah.
Whether they force it,
whether their outro is 8 minutes long.
Yeah, whatever. As long as you get a video out.
Yeah.
If they're talking for 10 minutes and people are just like, dude, like you literally are just talking because you just have to put a video out. And I try not to stress myself about, like, for example, when everyone was at NOLA this weekend, and it's been super cold in Texas, and it's just like there's literally nothing going on.
Yeah.
So it's like, what am I gonna vlog? Like,
yeah,
there's nothing going on. No one's doing anything. So it's like I'm not gonna like stress or like force myself to like get something
put a video out. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
But I also want to say I don't try to make my videos perfect by any means.
Yeah.
So right now I'm definitely more in between. Just trying to find a balance. What about you?
Probably the same. I think I kind of found a happy medium as well. As far as my personal content, this is how I see it. As far as my personal content, I'm not a grinder because I definitely don't want to put a video out unless I really like it and unless I really like the content within it. That's why I don't like daily vlog anymore. Yeah. But as far as vision, I feel like I started vision being a grind because I've never put out I've only put out one vision ever where I was 100% like done with it. I was like, I felt like there's nothing more I can do to this video. I finished it. But because of like, it's the fast pacedness of a vision, because it's basically a mini documentary, but it's just the time frame to do it is condensed. It's like you don't have a lot of time to do it. So you can't do it to 3,000% of your ability. You have to do it enough so that it's done and that it looks good and that people like it. But so I feel like as far as that, it's kind of a grind because I'm consistently putting out weekly like docuseries. Well, not consistently anymore, but getting there. And so I feel like that part is kind of a grind, but I definitely am not like I don't know. I would consider myself more of like the Bo Burnham type of thing.
Yeah.
Right. I'd like to fully sit down and execute grind to get to 1 point rather than a ton of little points.
Yeah.
You know?
And we've said this before, and then it's like, and then there's Hex, who's like a grinder.
And then he doesn't understand how we're not grinders.
Yeah.
But we're just grinding in a different way.
Yeah. He just has, it's just like a different energy.
Yeah.
Like I have a really good point, but it's like, it's just hard to explain. Like, he has a certain energy where it like bothers him if he's not doing something. I think certain, not necessarily hacks, but like people like that like always have to be doing something.
Yeah.
Always like, I guess, yeah, just always have to be doing something. They aren't comfortable with silence. They aren't comfortable with like why can't they stop? Like, why can't they just like sit there and like pause?
And it's like a different feeling. Like if I gave Hex, since he's not here to defend himself, because he would definitely say that I'm wrong.
Well, yeah, that's why
But if I gave Hex my vision camera and said spend 4 days recording and gathering everything and make a huge production out of it, I mean, he would obviously be able to do it, but he would not like doing it. He would rather do vlogs every day and do like a bunch of mini things instead of producing an entire, instead of working a little bit each day on making something big. So it's just the different way of working.
Yeah. Well, it's just a different way of living.
Yeah.
Like people, like I said, some people just don't. I don't know. People like different shit. Some people don't like sitting still, and some people can't entertain themselves. Some people can't be alone. Some people date 10 people a year because they can't be alone. Some people don't date people for 5 years because they can entertain themselves.
Yeah.
People are just different.
Yeah.
So it's not really fair to, I guess, judge someone off what they're doing.
Yeah.
I think it's safe to say, as long as you're conscious of like needing to better yourself and like taking a certain action to better yourself, it's all that really matters.
Yeah, I agree with that.
You can't judge someone like just because you are uncomfortable with not doing something, just because you're uncomfortable with like sitting in silence, doesn't mean you can judge someone that can sit there.
Yeah.
And call them whatever you want to call them, whether it be lazy or depressed or whatever.
That is one thing to continue to talk about. Freaking Hex. That is one thing that he's good at, is he's constantly, obviously bitched at me for different visions being laid and different things going wrong. But then at the same time, he's like, listen, like I'm not gonna like fire you. I'm not gonna like test your hand whenever like you're doing stuff like this for vision, because I understand that's how you work and that's your creative process. And he'll say, I don't understand how you do it, but I know that's what you do. And every time it comes out, I'm really like, I'm pleased with the product and I'm impressed with it. So if I change how you do it, will that mess up the final product? And a lot of that is true, and a lot of that is me procrastinating. But at the end of the day, I can understand how he works and he understands how I work. So as long as you're conscious of how you are and how you can better yourself and reality check yourself, I think that's probably the most important to improve in any sense of life, really.
Yep. It's a learning process.
Yep.
I think even though as much as I talk Like, I know, I don't know.
Same.
Like, I don't really know shit.
I don't know shit either, dude.
I'm just trying to.
You guys.
I'm not even trying. I'm just fucking. I'm just taking notes, I guess, as I go along in life and trying to fucking. Shit happens. Noted. Try not to do that again. Need to do this better. Yeah. How can I? What do I need to do to feel more fulfilled and live a happier, better life for me and the people around me? Can I get an amen?
Amen. I almost slipped an expletive in between a and men, but that just seemed
what?
A cuss word.
A fucking man.
That seemed too disrespectful.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, I don't. You shouldn't think that's allowed in Christianity.
It's definitely man. Not. My early teenage self is shaking.
Did you go to church?
Yeah,
oh, you did.
I lived in church, man.
Yeah, damn.
I
went to church like every other weekend, maybe for a year or two or something. I've kind of forget it. I would only go with my dad like every other weekend. Yeah,
I went to church every Sunday. I went to. I was the president of my youth group for 4 years straight. I played in the praise band every single Sunday. Practiced on Wednesdays.
Sheesh.
My mom taught a Sunday school. My dad was lay leader. Like literally, we lived in the church.
Wow,
that's crazy. It taught me a lot.
I was in the youth group and we didn't care about. We just messed around.
Yeah, same. I mean,
like we were just like all the adults would church it up, and then we would just be the kids like with some dude who like had to look after us while everyone, and we would just mess around.
Same. It was. I mean, we did some good stuff. It was fun. It taught me a lot. I think it taught me. If the religious part of it doesn't stick with you, I think the companionship and the positive environment and the way to be raised will always stick with you, in my opinion. I think it's something to do. I don't know. I honestly think I'll eventually go back, but I think it'll
really.
Yeah, I think it'll be whenever.
As you will.
It'll be whenever I have a kid, I think.
Yeah. As you get older, you're going to start and like get settled down.
Yeah.
And like your own house and shit, and like get a place of living.
Yeah.
And like you just know you're going to be in this state for 20 till you die.
Yeah.
You're going to start going to church.
Yeah.
That's funny.
There's a sense of, I don't know. A lot of the best friends I've ever had, I met through church, and a lot of my mom's, best friends that she's ever had, she met through church. So it's definitely a lot of people in the same part of life that you're at are meeting every Sunday to.
Church is, damn, I got to go to church.
I've honestly,
I just want to go to like.
To experience it.
Yeah. And now that I'm like conscious of like what church is.
Yeah.
I kind of do. I want to feel that energy. Did you ever see this stuff on TV of like church, I don't know what they're called, but like they'll televise church.
Yeah.
And then some people will be like freaking and they catch the Holy Ghost or whatever.
Yeah.
What is that? Because
actually,
as much as it might be fake,
and
some stuff, that actually happens.
Yeah,
people really catch the Holy Ghost, or
people, whatever that.
When they just like, whatever that is, like what is that?
Have you ever heard of speaking in tongues, dude?
I've heard of that. Might be a rap song. I think that's just why I heard of it.
I went to a. One of my friends, I was in high school, so I was like a sophomore in high school, and my mom was, my buddy asked his mom if I could go to church with him, or like this like youth group thing. So went on the Sunday, and it was like late Sunday. It was like at 8 p.m. And we just had this they had this whole sermon, and then, we were supposed to eat and play games. And then at the very end of the sermon, before we did all the other stuff, this like girl had a testimony. She had a testimony about like something terrible had happened in her life. And then the pastor says, "Can you come down here? We can put, we'll put our hands on you, and then we'll pray for you." So she goes down. We all put our hands on like A lot of people put their hands on her. Some people put their hands on the people putting their hands on her. Like there's this big group around this one girl. And the guy has a microphone and he starts praying. And I had never experienced this before because I grew up in a fairly like a Methodist church where it's just like, I don't know, it's kind of, I would say normal, but that's a bad word to use. It's kind of contemporary, like just a bunch of people in jeans and t-shirts. And as soon as this guy, I was standing right beside my friend. And as soon as this guy started talking, I would say there was probably 200 people there, like 75 to 80 people within there started just speaking gibberish. They're like, just like speaking gibberish. And I never, ever experienced it before. And I was literally sitting there with my eyes closed and I opened my eyes and I started looking around and my friend was like, and like shook his head. And so I just like put my head down and started listening to this guy preach with the mic. And then everybody else, like, not everybody, but a lot of people were just like jumble talking. It sounded like kind of like The Sims. I don't. That's really disrespectful to say, but so then I go home and I tell my mom like, "What was this?" And she's like, "Oh, that's called speaking in tongues. We don't. Our church doesn't really do it, and we've never taken you to a church that does it. But apparently, it's a way for people to directly talk to God while."
That's going to do it for the Flycast. Thank you all for watching.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, that's another situation, just like the people, dancing down the aisles and catching the Holy Ghost and shaking. It's like, I don't understand that at all. I don't understand that part of
I was not expecting that.
Religion.
I thought, I was not expecting.
And that's the only time I've ever experienced it. But it's stuck with me for a very long time, and to this day I don't understand it. And there's probably people that listen to the Flycast that go to a church
that speak in tongues.
They're
probably sitting there right now. Oh,
that's disrespectful, but
come on, we're in 2018.
So I don't know, but at the same time, a ton of people do it. A ton of people. Go to churches where, people go crazy and they dance down the aisles and they catch the vibes, and there's people that speak in tongues. There's, different religions that do different things, but I wish I could understand it, but I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's people that speak in tongues and like I'm joking and like just kidding around when I'm making fun of speaking in tongues, but they can do that, and I think it's weird. But then I'm also the guy that's sitting in my room on a pillow and just like sitting there for 20 minutes with my eyes closed, thinking I'm like stopping time and shit. So it goes both ways.
Yeah, like your meditation stuff.
Yeah. Which you should start doing.
I think I'd be good at it.
I don't think you would.
Yeah, I'd fall asleep. I'd either fall asleep or get
the thing is,
fidgety.
I used to do it lay down, but I realized when I'm doing that, all I'm doing is relaxing. And that is the point, but it's not. Like
It's supposed to be like opening your
I
mind
started
and stuff.
I would say just don't overthink it. Don't try to learn what it is. Like, I don't know. I'm not going to turn this into like a teaching how to meditate, but
do you reach a
I
state?
get it now. I have recently now. I definitely consistently reach like a state almost like every single time. Like it's really weird. It's not a state you reach in like any other way. Like it's like the only way I can reach that is meditating.
Right.
Like I can't be falling asleep and realize, I feel the same way I feel when I'm meditating.
Yeah.
Like no, when you meditate, there's a certain feeling you get that's like you don't get it elsewhere. And I actually made a video about it, a weird experience I had one time only. and it happened for like 15 minutes while I was meditating, and it was like super weird. Like, I wouldn't call it an outer body experience, but I felt like I could sit there forever. Like, I never felt like so content with what was happening. And I felt like I was sitting there with my eyes closed, and I felt like instead of like sitting here, like right now I know I'm here.
Yeah.
But like instead of knowing I'm here, I was sitting there with my eyes closed, and it felt like I was here watching here. That's the only way I can explain it. And you just won't get it until it happens.
Yeah.
So it's weird.
That's crazy. And just because of how well I know you, like I obviously know you're telling the truth, but to other people out there, they probably think you're being crazy unless they've experienced it.
Yeah. And I've been meditating. It's been very scarce the last couple of years, but like the last 2 months, it's been pretty much every day.
Yeah.
And last 2-3 months, and it took that long to like experience that.
Does it?
Like it takes practice. It's weird.
Do you think? I mean, how helpful is it for your day-to-day like activities? Like obviously you've been very motivated since we moved to Dallas, but that's like obviously a combination of many things.
It's a combination of many things.
Is that part of the
combination? But I've
also
I made it a point to do it every single day. No matter, like I had days, like I put my alarm to 20 minutes and I set a timer, 20 minutes. I hit start and I sit there for 20 minutes. And
do you listen to anything?
No. Sometimes I will. Okay. I kind of like listen. If I feel like I need to listen to something, I will, but usually no.
Yeah.
But I'll just hit start and I'll just close my eyes and just sit on the floor on the pillow, and I can't get up for 20 minutes. And then eventually, I think you need to learn how to focus on your breath, and that's a good start.
Yeah.
But yeah, I sit there for 20 minutes, focus on my breath, and sometimes I'll be moving, like I'll be so uncomfortable and like antsy, and I won't be relaxed, but I'm like I can't get up. And then 5-10 minutes later, I'll kind of like stop. I'll be like, because I know I can't get up. Like no matter what, I am not getting up until the alarm goes off. So all this like antsiness and stuff, once I realize I'm not going to get up, it kind of just like goes away. And it's just like, and you just like give up fighting it. And I think that's like a life lesson kind of, to stuff you can't control, you like stop fighting it. Like you just
people are gonna think we're high. People think we're high every single time.
People think I'm never not high.
Yeah. Especially this time, people are gonna think.
But I think
high.
it's a pretty good, just some like shit you can't. Sometimes you just have to let go.
Yeah.
And my point was, you were asking if it helps in like daily life.
Yeah.
And it's like that. That's something I kind of take with me every day is. Like, you won't even know it sometimes, but we'll just be walking, and I'll be, like, in my head, like, thinking about shit, and then I'll just be like, wait, what I'm thinking about has nothing to do with what's going on right now, and it will not help me with anything that's going on right now, and it just really won't help me, period. So I'll just be like, okay, what is going on right now in my life? And then I'll, like, stop, and that's when I notice I'm breathing.
Dude, I need to start doing this. Just because of how like stressed and probably a pain in the ass to be around lately, I need to start focusing on just living.
What's actually going on?
Yeah, like what matters and what doesn't matter and what's not going to be a big deal. I used to say it when I worked at Walgreens. Like one of my coworkers, she had been there for a while. Like I was getting so frustrated with like this like passport. I don't know. It was passport something. That's all I remember. And she looked at me. She was like, Davis. And I've been working there for 2 months. She was like, never let Walgreens stress you out.
Yeah.
And from that moment on, for the next 3 years, there was not one particular time where Walgreens ever stressed me out. Because at the end of the day, I was there to do a job. If it didn't work out, it didn't work out. But me stressing about something is not going to fix anything.
Yeah. I think that's a quality of a good leader, too, is not being... I only say that, I might only be saying that because my boss, when I worked at Food Lion, like the head...
General manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he was never stressed. Even if like people were fucking up, like it's still gonna
work itself
out.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Stress is controllable.
Like yeah.
And I used to be so good at that, but lately I haven't been. So I need to like
a lot of times I'll just be in my head and then I'll realize that it just has nothing to do with what's going on right now. And then you learn to start realizing what is going on now, and that's when you feel your breath hitting the back of your throat, and it's like, oh, that's what's going on now. You feel the table your hands are on. And it's like, oh, this is what's actually happening. None of the stuff in my head. This is what's happening. But yeah. So yeah, I meditate. Sometimes.
Yeah.
I haven't for 2 days though, and I feel bad about it.
So because of that, well, I mean, at the same point, like people are definitely gonna make fun of you for what you just said. Even the viewers that watch this are gonna like joke about it. But at the same time, like with how real that feels to you and how much it helps you, and people are constantly telling you how dumb that is, that's literally the same thing as religion, any type of religion.
Well,
any way that you go about it, it feels that way and it feels right for them. It's how they choose to live, and it's what helps them. And they're if you want to make fun of it, you can, but
the only thing I would argue that with is like, you can make fun of me for it, I guess, but everything I'm saying, it's like it real. Like, I don't know. Fuck it.
I know what you're saying. Because it makes sense. It makes sense, but I feel like it can all pertain to the same thing.
There is also a side of me that doesn't have to do with meditation, and I've been talking to Ace about recently. Is I forget who I was listening to, but it was just something about having faith, and I know that's huge. That is religion. Yeah, is having faith, but my faith lately has been just like, I don't know. I just have faith that my life is going to work out. I have faith that like whatever is not supposed to happen, but like I just have faith that like it's going to be all right.
Whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah, whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Yeah. I can understand that too.
And even if it's something bad, I have faith that I'll get through it and it'll still be good. And something bad could happen. Something bad's gonna happen after that.
It'll probably seem bad to a lot of people that were, that are still super active in like Christianity and like the church and stuff. But I've kind of taken it kind of like what you're talking about with like finding yourself and whatever happens is going to happen. Like I've kind of taken whatever I was taught and kind of made my own reality out of it. Like not my own.
People do make their own realities out of stuff.
Yeah.
Like people will live in people will create a reality. People will create a world that they believe is reality that's not reality.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So like the first time any I'm still like kind of friends with her every once in a while, but the first time I ever heard anyone say, I just don't believe it. I just got to a point where I went to church and I started listening to what they were saying, and I was like, I don't believe that. The first time I ever heard anybody say that it was a girl when I was in 8th grade, and it just like shocked me. I was like, what? How can you not believe it? I mean, that's because I was born in the church, raised in the church. Like, that was just what you were supposed to believe. And I never got to a point where I just said, well, I mean, I never got to the point where I said, I don't believe any of this. But I did get to a point where I like understood what was happening, and I understood, you know, where it all comes from, and I kind of pick and chose what I wanted to believe, and that's like kind of a bad thing, you know, for people that are like super hardcore into the church and into Christianity and into religion. You can't just pick and choose what you want to believe in your own religion. But at the same time,
you don't like you don't pick and choose. And I wouldn't say you do. I wouldn't say you do pick and choose. You just either do or you don't. Yeah. You just either believe it or you don't.
That is true. I didn't. Yeah. I mean, now that you say that, I didn't sit down with a checklist and said, I believe this. I believe this. It's just like when I hear the different stories that I grow up hearing and I start thinking about it now, I'm like, you know, I believe that Jesus was real, and I believe that he, you know, said all of these, you know, different things to a lot of different people. And I believed as that, it's like the whisper game. As he said that, passed it down through centuries, there's no possible way. I cannot say that is the same story that he said, you know, I mean, regardless, you know. So there are some things I believe the core story, and I believe that, and I'm very thankful and I respect the, you know, that whole aspect of life that I was raised in, because it made me the person that I am today. And, you know, as far as when people ask me, I will tell them that I'm a Christian, and we're in a kind of like I guess a demographic where it's kind of like, you're a Christian, you believe in Santa Claus too, like that kind of stuff. But it's like, that's not how I see it.
Well, I would say someone that doesn't believe, someone that is like, no, I don't believe that God is not real. Yeah. I would be like I'm looking out the window, and I don't know about you, but we don't know what the fuck this is.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't know, and I don't know. I'll say I don't believe there is a God, but I don't believe there's not a God either. Like, I don't know. And I think you're dumb to say that. I was going to try to like think of a less harsh word than dumb.
Dumb is a good word for it.
I think it's pretty ignorant to say there isn't. Cause
I think it's also,
what?
I think
Look
it's also,
outside.
yeah.
Look at
True. I think it's
fucking
also ignorant, but a little
we don't
less,
know anything.
a little less ignorant to say that there absolutely is, and that yours is the right one.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to go around like, and that's the problem with Christianity. I think the top problem is that they got to a point where got to a point where they're so cocky in the fact that their religion is the right one. It could be any of them. Any one of these religions could be the right one. And the belief system could be the right one, or, you know, it could be the absolute wrong one. Elon Musk could be right, and we're all living in a simulation, and the person who is running that, the person being thing that's running that simulation, could be the God that we're all, you know, like, there's so many possibilities. But to say that yours is the right one is ridiculous, or you say you believe in that, but to confirm and say that if you don't believe this, you're wrong, I think is dumb. And I think if you say there's not a higher power and there's not a God, that you're also dumb. I think those are two dumb ways of thinking. And unfortunately, I was put in a position where I grew up in one of the dumb positions. I would go to school. If you didn't go to church, I would judge you. Like, that's just how it was. And it's not like, and I don't blame that on the church either, because they weren't sitting there saying, judge everyone. You're supposed to judge everyone. They're just saying, listen, like, if you don't believe this, this is what we believe. You're going to go to hell. So then you were like, oh shit, I got to believe that. And then if somebody else didn't believe it, you're like, are you kidding me? You're going to go to hell? And then you judge them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a lose-lose situation in a lot of those particular like instances. So I don't know how we got into religion.
Same. How did
I knew this was going to happen one day. When we first started the Flycast, I knew it was going to get here.
Have we not really talked about it?
No, I don't think so.
Not like that, I guess, at least.
We've talked about it like just me and you in the car.
Yeah.
But I knew it was going to get here one day. It's kind of exciting. I knew this day was going to happen.
How did that shit start?
Meditation, higher power, and all that.
But how
expanding your
what
mind.
was before meditation?
Church as well, because we talked about
what was before church.
Because how did you originally talk about the people getting the jive? That's how we got there.
The Holy Ghost?
Yeah, the Holy Ghost. Getting the Holy Ghost.
How did that?
That's how we got here.
I don't know.
That was the original point. But we're at an hour and 21.
Jesus, dude.
We killed the music thing. Then somehow got into religion. That is the Flycast. If you're looking to sponsor the Flycast, please hit us up. Should we make we should make like a email, people to hit us up for.
We should make a Flycast email.
Yeah, I'll work on that. I think I already have one. I'll put that
Flycast email.
A Flycast email. I think because I used it for SoundCloud.
Yeah.
So I'll work on the Flycast email if you guys are looking to promote anything on the Flycast or to help us out. Anything does help us. It's a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching, listening. It is on SoundCloud and iTunes and YouTube, and that's it.
But
I haven't checked the Spotify thing yet. I need to do that.
Oh, really?
Let me check right now.
Wonder if it is on it.
Do your
Imagine. Wait, what?
Imagine if I pulled up Spotify right now.
What episode was this?
12.
12? Are you sure? No.
I'm sure.
Are you sure?
I'm like 90.
I think it might be 11. Let me check. I'm checking what episode this is. All right. This has been
I'm pretty sure it's episode 12.
So 12.
Yes.
This has been episode 12 of the Flycast. I guess that's going to do it.
That is going to do it.
Do we have any outro music?